Here's your wrestling news for March 26, 2023, and we're kicking off today with Alexa Bliss, as fans haven't seen the former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion since the Royal Rumble. While a segment at the show teased that Bliss would be doing something with Uncle Howdy, all references to that have been dropped thanks to Bray Wyatt's absence from programming, leaving fans wondering what's next for the goddess. While speaking with Cinema Blend this week, Bliss was asked about whether she'll be appearing at WrestleMania 39 and confirmed that she will be at the arena next weekend. Bliss didn't say whether she'd be featured on TV, but said that fans should expect the unexpected when it comes to WWE. At this time, there's been no confirmation on whether Bliss will appear at the show, though with 2 episodes of TV before the big event, there is time for WWE to work a storyline to put her on the card. Bliss has been one of the top names in the WWE's women's division for some time, which makes her absence from WrestleMania all the more surprising. And we'll just have to see what, if anything, is in store for the goddess next weekend. Alexa Bliss isn't the only prominent name who's been missing, as Bray Wyatt hasn't been seen in weeks, all due to a reported illness. Since then, mentions of the former Universal Champion on TV have all dried up, but we could be seeing Wyatt at WrestleMania after all. On Twitter, a fan shared a photo with Bray that was taken recently, and the WWE superstar seems to be over the worst of whatever illness was keeping him from the show. In the comments, the fan said that the pair were in Florida and said they didn't ask about his absence or WrestleMania status, making it clear that it's none of his business. If Wyatt is indeed all better, then there once again is the possibility of him competing at WrestleMania despite his rumored opponent Bobby Lashley teasing facing somebody else at the event. Wyatt returned to WWE last October, but many believe his comeback has been flat since then. And do you think we'll see Bray at WrestleMania after all? Sound off in the comments. Now next month, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler's contracts with AEW are set to expire, and there's been lots of questions as to where they will go next. After their return at Revolution earlier this month, Harwood said that their contract situation with Tony Khan had not changed, and is a return to WWE a possibility? Speaking to Nick Hausman of Wrestling Inc. this week, Harwood was asked about a WWE return and revealed that Cody Rhodes may be what wins them over to the Stamford promotion. He explained, "If I told you no, then that'd be a complete lie, because it was pretty out in the open what happened with AEW and Cody. So WWE could have snatched him up and really done whatever they wanted because he wouldn't be able to come back to AEW. But seeing that they took him seriously and that they've allowed him to be a big star definitely had me and Cash analyzing it way more than we would have before." Harwood added that they've done a great job with the American Nightmare, and most interestingly added that he is very close to Cody and they speak about their lives and careers at least once a week. Cody has been treated exceptionally well by WWE, and it's been reported that WWE hopes his treatment will win over AEW talent, and that's exactly what could happen for FTR when their deals expire next month. But what do you think should happen with FTR? Is a return to WWE under Triple H, but with Vince McMahon also back for the best? Or should they stick it out with what they have in AEW? In May, WWE will host their Backlash event in Puerto Rico, marking the first premium live event in the area since January 2005. This isn't the only notable location this year, as WWE Money in the Bank will be hosted in London, England in July, and there's a reason for these locations in particular. Fightful Select reports that WWE is making a concentrated effort with the selection of PLE locations, which was said to be drastically different from how they worked last year. WWE wants each event to have a distinct purpose, whether that be thematic, financial, or strategic, and an example of this is having Elimination Chamber in Montreal when they knew Sami Zayn would be in the main event. The reason for Backlash taking place in Puerto Rico is that it allowed WWE to get Bad Bunny as host of the show, which will greatly increase interest in the event. As for Money in the Bank, that event will be happening in the UK shortly before WWE has to renegotiate their broadcasting rights in the area, and having a major event at primetime in the area will only help out WWE. With Vince McMahon and Nick Khan preparing for first-round bids on WWE next month, the higher-ups want the company to look as good as possible to potential buyers, and that's led to a lot more thought being put into premium live event locations. More WrestleMania news now, as Edge will face Finn Balor on the show, and the two men look to settle the score inside Hell in a Cell. For Balor, this will be his first time stepping foot inside Hell in a Cell, and the third time for Edge, and WWE has something special in store for the Rated R Superstar. Zero News reports that for Edge's WrestleMania entrance, Gangrel will be a part of the show in order to get his old Brood partner in the right headspace for the barbaric match. Not only will Gangrel be a part of Edge's entrance, but the report adds that he will get physical and have a spot with Damian Priest during the match itself. Priest is the only member of the Judgment Day not booked for a match at WrestleMania, so it stands to reason that he'll be accompanying the group's leader when he steps foot inside Hell in a Cell. The last time Gangrel appeared on WWE TV was back in 2007 as part of a 15-man battle royal on Raw, but expect to see the vampiric character bust out his fangs for the showcase of the Immortals. From one old Edge ally to another now, as Randy Orton hasn't been seen on WWE programming in close to a year due to a severe back injury. For a time, it was believed that Orton's in-ring career could be over due to the injury, but there's now some much-needed good news about the Viper. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that all indications are that he's on his way back, but stopped short of giving a specific date. Meltzer did add that this has been quite the dramatic turnaround for Orton, as it was at the end of last year that some in WWE were worried about him and his career being over. Orton's RK Bro ally Matt Riddle was also brought up, with Meltzer saying his name hasn't been mentioned backstage in some time, but it seems like Orton's return could be happening sooner rather than later. During this week's Raw, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had a war of words, but the most cutting lines belonged to the Tribal Chief. While Reigns didn't reference AEW by name, he did say that Cody started a company and a promotion that you couldn't get over in, but that wasn't a problem for the American Nightmare. Speaking to WrestleJoy, Rhodes explained that he had no problem with the dig at his mixed AEW run, and explained why, saying, "I love that Roman brought it up in terms of running. I have to own it. I did meet adversity, and I did not say, you know what, I'm gonna put my feet in the sand and stay. I didn't put my flag here. I'm not gonna get back to the campus. I'm gonna find a different campus. I hate the expression, trust the process, with all my life. Why not create the process? Why do I have to trust the process? I'd rather create the process. Roman isn't wrong that the business stung me, and I had to move away from where I got stung. I couldn't just continue to get stung." Cody's AEW run may not have gone how he had planned, but that's just a part of his story, a story he plans on finishing by dethroning Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. Next weekend, NXT will host their annual Stand and Deliver event, which will take place the same day as WrestleMania Saturday. For many on the NXT roster, this will be their first time competing for the gold brand outside of the Performance Center, but WWE aren't exactly thrilled with how things are going. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it is reported that WWE has been disappointed with the crowd reactions at recent NXT tapings and want this to change next weekend. NXT talent and crew members are strongly encouraged to bring their friends and family to upcoming tapings and Stand and Deliver to, quote, bring energy to the crowd. We don't know how WWE are encouraging talent to invite their loved ones, but we imagine that failing to do so won't go well for the superstars, so hopefully Stand and Deliver has a packed crowd for the sake of the show and the wrestlers. And we're ending today with Brock Lesnar, and recently there's been a lot of questions about the Beast's career after his match with Omos at WrestleMania. Recently, the Beast Incarnate was saying goodbye to everyone at Raw, an odd thing for the usually solitary Beast to do, raising questions that he could be retiring after WrestleMania. While fans don't know what's next for Lesnar, it turns out that those in WWE don't know either, as on Wrestling Observer Radio, it was reported that legitimately nobody knows what Lesnar's status is with WWE after next weekend's show. Lesnar has been one of WWE's most successful stars of all time, but do you think that next weekend's WrestleMania will be the last for the Beast Incarnate? Let us know in the comments below.